Hey, everyone out there. This is Brian again from Massey's Main Entertainment, and we're back again for our weekly. Well, now it's definitely going to be a weekly thing we're going to be doing. It's our weekly Build the Perfect album. We're at 1981. And so, what we've been doing starting in 1980 is we've been doing a tandem video thing where we'll be doing our music from 1981 on my channel. And over on Rich's channel, we'll be counting down the top 10 movies, each one of us, and also including our worst movie in there as well. So joining me today for the music portion of it is Rich Strickler. Check out Rich's channel. Great material on there. I think he just did a song ranking of Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde, right? That just recently dropped.
Just dropped.
Yeah, I checked it out. I checked it out, and I was very, very, very happy that Visions of Johanna did so well. So very happy about that. Yep. And joining us also is Doc. Doc, always one of our longtime guys here, and we really enjoy doing these things all together. Anybody doesn't know anything about the series, we build this perfect album. We pick 12 songs from each particular year, and we limit it to one song per album. And years that we had double albums, we got to pick 2 songs, but that's no longer the case anymore. So we're only picking one song from each. We'll also have Spotify lists up on the channel. I'll put links to each one of our playlists, so you'll get a chance to actually spin those and check those songs out if you really want to go back and listen. And it's lots of fun. We've really been enjoying this. So, guys, I was really surprised that 81 was much deeper than I thought it was going to be. What did you guys think?
Totally agree, buddy. Totally agree. I didn't have not doing the list in 80. After 80, I was thinking, okay, I got a feeling of where the 80s is going to go. Man, was I wrong going into 81. So, and threw me for a pretty big curve, and get into the deep dive and revisit some of the stuff that really at the heart of my music life here right now and what I'm going to listen to. It was fun to do, man. This one might sound a little different to you guys than what you're expecting. I'll say that.
Oh. Yeah, I was surprised with it too, and pleasantly so. In addition to my 12 songs that made the final cut, I think I had 16 runners up or honorable mentions, some of them from the same album where you have to make a choice. There's 2 good songs or even more, and you have to only choose one. So there's some good music here. More poppy stuff on my end than the hard rock, but a little bit of new wave as well. Pretty good album.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know, I mean, we don't tell each other what we've actually picked, but no. I sent you guys a message last night going, guys, I still have 16 songs on my list.
I know.
And I had not gotten down to 12 until like early this morning. I'm like, all right, I think I got it down to 12 now. And we're going to go with it. So the order tonight, Doc, you don't get to hide your hand anymore on this one, buddy. You're pulling double duty. You're going first on the music today, and you're going first for the movies today. So
back to back.
You're going to lead us off. Rich is going to follow you up for the music portion of it, and then I'm gonna back cleanup tonight. I get to kind of kick back and see what you guys have to say first. So, Doc, lead us off.
Here we go. Like I said, it might sound a little different to you than maybe what you're expecting, but maybe this half won't. I don't know. So, but I think the back half of my album probably will in one sense or not. So, yeah, it's tough to do. We've touched on it here, so let's jump in, man. Side A. 1981. I like a few songs off this album, but once again, I feel very confident leading off an album with the AC/DCs for those about to rock. So that's where I'm going to start. So, pretty good follow-up album, really, to Back in Black. There's some solid tunes on here, man. Let's Get It Up. Inject the Venom. There's a lot of really good songs on here, actually. So, but this is the anthem from that album. This is a concert staple, and I've seen them many times, and it's what a great rock tune, man. For those about to rock, Johnson back to back coming out with Back in Black, and that's the first 2 albums. I like my AC/DC, man. That's starting it off. You also know I like my Van Halen, so I'm rocking it out with Unchained from Fair Warning on this one, man.
Okay.
What a rocking tune from Van Halen here, man. This is like some things go heavier, some things go lighter with Van Halen, and as it goes on with Sammy and stuff like that, you see that side too, but still pretty good music too, really. So, but they're still rocking here, man. Early 80s, Van Halen. They've only been around for a short time, really. 78, I guess, is when the first one's out. So this is only year 4 or 3 or 4 in of actually producing stuff.
Mhm.
They're kicking out the Fair Warning, and it's a really good album, man. But Unchained, just a rocking tune, man. Great little chugging on the guitar from Mehdi on that one, man. It's awesome. Keep that theme going. How do you keep it going with the Kinks? You keep it going with the Kinks Destroyer, and that's how you keep it going.
Destroyer. Okay.
Yeah, hey man, that's their heaviest tune, and I love it. So it's to me, it's their heaviest song. I don't think I'm wrong there. That's a great heavy rock song from the Kinks. Not something you're expecting to hear, man. That from them. Waterloo Sunset to this, man, it doesn't sound like the same guys to me, but it doesn't. But a great rock song, man. And yeah, I like the build up in it and everything else. And they sound fantastic doing this kind of music too, man. So it's just a heavy rock song from the Kinks that I've loved. So I'm going to follow that up with my boys here in Triumph. Fight the Good Fight is going to make my list here. I like Triumph too, man. And not more like an album listen. I like albums, but they got around 15 songs I could probably listen to at any time. That's probably what I'd say, something to that effect. It's pretty high. This is one of them. And they have great flow to their songs. If you haven't listened to Triumph, give them a shot. Not quite as heavy as other things that I've mentioned so far, but still a pretty rocking band. It's a rock band. And good guitar, great singing, man. But Gilmore and Rick Emmett can both sing, and Fight the Good Fight is a great rock song from them. So that's my number 4. I'm going to follow that up with the best Led Zeppelin song not sang by Led Zeppelin. It is Lonely is the Night. Geez, Mindy, I've already skipped his mind there. I can see it now. If you've ever heard the song Lonely in the Night, it's I hope you guys know who I'm talking about. Do you?
Billy Squire, is it?
Billy Squire.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a Led Zeppelin song that sounds like Led Zeppelin. He sounds like Led Zeppelin. The riff sounds like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's a Led Zeppelin-ish kind of song. But man, it's a rocking tune, man. And Squire's got some good songs, man. I mean, I know there's been some bantering about it. I saw something on one of these streams a while ago where they talked about how he was doing his dance videos where he really screwed up his career. He really did. He messed things up, man, doing that Stroke It or whatever video. I don't know what the hell it was, but the guy had some good music, man. And this was a great tune. So Lonely is the Night, man. That's going to be my number 5. I'm going to end my side coming back into Canada with my Island album, Moving Pictures. I'm going to take Tom Sawyer with me down this side, man. It's probably their biggest song, popularity-wise, from Rush. And I mentioned before, the Spirit of Radio has, more changes in a song than you could possibly imagine. This might have the second most. So the drumming, the offbeat for something like this is real musicianship for a rock band, man. And go watch that video and tell me that's not a fake.
It has the most time signatures, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my inside A.
Yeah, those are not very surprising at all, Doc.
Told you.
Yeah. I do have a question with the Kinks one. Did that song come before or after Come Dancing?
After.
Is after?
No, I want to say before.
Was it before? I'm trying to get the time frame about where they would have released a song like that versus Come Dancing. It's such a great change of pace. I mean, you think about that. That's like a 180.
Totally.
How many bands can do that?
Totally. I mean, if it's off the same album, I'll be freaked right out now. But this will be.
I would be freaked. I'd absolutely be freaked because I do know the song. But I was just wondering. I thought to myself, of early '80s Kinks, and Come Dancing was the first thing that came to my mind.
I don't know if it's give the people what they want.
Wow.
I see Rich is checking it out, so I don't know which one came first, but I have a feeling
we'll find out. But everything else definitely is all you. It's all you, Doc.
There you go.
Yeah. I didn't see anything in there that's not you. I knew Tom Sawyer would be there. Come on, really?
Right,
I mean,
Come Dancing was on the State of Confusion album in '83.
There
Okay.
you go.
So
This one comes first.
Okay. There you go.
I like Destroyer too. It's a good song.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great too.
I like it.
I like that one.
All good picks.
Thank you. Like you said, I'm sure Tom Sawyer was not a big shock, right?
Oh,
So-
yeah, that's not a shocker.
That was the only lock for me. I knew you'd have Tom Sawyer. Of the AC/DC song, I was betting on that one too.
Yeah. So I mean, like we said, there were so many songs that we could have went with. This is the way my side B will go, guys, and this is the way it goes.
Right.
So side B, starting off with Abacat, man, from Genesis.
Nice.
That'll be
Yeah.
All
right. The 7-minute version.
the longer the better, man. I can go for that whole thing. Man. Just even that drum beat, to slow down drum beat to end the whole song. That's fine with me.
I like it.
It's a great tune, man. Just a great tune.
It is.
And they both got albums out. Phil's got an album out this year, and so does Genesis, which is kind of cool. But
that's true.
Yeah.
Love this tune. I've loved it since I've heard it, to be honest with you. So I've loved this song for 40 years. So my favorite Genesis tune. I can't go around this. This is my favorite one. So it's out in 81, man. It's coming with me on my top 12. Gonna follow that up with the Tubes, Talk to You Later.
Ooh, okay.
It's my second one. I told you it's gonna be this one's maybe not gonna sound like Doc as much as you think it might sound like Doc, but
I like the Tubes.
that's another. I like a few songs from the Tubes, man, and this is my favorite tune from them. Great little storytelling in there, and I just love the way it's delivered. I love the beat and the whole song, man. I think it's just a groovy, catchy tune, man, and really catchy for 81, man. And I love the tune, so it's making my top 12. 38 Special, man. Hold On Loosely is going to come in at number 3.
All right,
man.
Nice.
Yeah. The Van Zants, they're doing their thing here, splitting out and doing their thing, but what a great tune, man. And they have a few too, to be honest with you, that are pretty catchy, and they hit pretty a couple of times in the 80s, and I don't know if they'll make top 12 for me as I go along and stuff like that, but they'll be in consideration as I move along. It's pretty high up on my list of 38 special tunes, and in 81, this one's coming. And Phil did have his own solo album, eh?
He did.
In the Air is going to make my album, man.
Got to.
It has to. It has to. What a tune. 40 years later, we can all just do the Air drum roll right now in our head.
That's right.
That's right.
Maybe the most notorious drop in music history, right?
Yeah, it could very well be.
Drop was even a terminology.
It's up there. Yeah.
Yeah. None of us could do it like Mike Tyson, but yes, we can all do the thing. That's for sure. So.
Great.
It's just a great tune from Phil. And like I said to you before, even talking about this stuff, I don't think Phil gets a lot of credit in some respects in the whole music scene for what he brought to music in 50 years. It's pretty incredible, man.
Yeah. Great
tune. It's making my list for sure in the top 12.
Good.
I got Squeeze, Tempted coming in at number 5 for me, man.
Yep. Nice. That's a little bit of a surprise for me. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're not going to hear I like some Who songs and stuff like this and different things. These are just other songs that have made my list from 81 that I'm thinking I'd just like a little bit more than I like my Who songs, and I love my Who songs, but I just like these maybe just a tad more. Fits a little better for me at this time, and I'm expanding myself in some senses too. So I want to show that that's what's going on in my life. So Tempted by Squeeze, just a different kind of groovy kind of tune as well. Nothing fast paced about this one from side A to side B, and that's my side B anyway. Just a great tune. Always liked it. It's just catchy, and I like the storytelling, and obviously this one. So gonna end this 81 out with the single release from Bowie and Queen with Under Pressure. So
okay, yeah, that's a good selection.
Once again, people probably think it's overplayed. People think it's overrated. People think, I don't care what people think, man. That tune's freaking awesome.
No.
You can't get two better singers almost showing up in one time to go do a song together. Bowie's an awesome singer, man, and Freddie's Freddie, right? I don't think
Right.
there's much need to talk. So catchy bass, catchy tune. They wrote it really quick. It's not perfectly polished, but man, what a friggin' rock song, man. That's a keeper from '81, man. That's making my list.
Well, I'll tell you what, that side was more me than the other side. I
know that.
I don't want to give the number away, but I had quite a few of them songs on my list. They'll be coming up.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, obviously I had so far on your album, I have two for sure. I had three honorable mentions from your second side.
Oh,
so I mean that second side felt really close to something maybe I would put together on like maybe my first side or something like that. It felt that way anyway. It didn't feel like you, which I'm glad you showed me that you really did have a wide taste in music back then. So
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, totally did.
Yeah. Very
Cool.
cool. I like it.
I liked it.
Thanks, guys.
Rich, what do you think, bud?
Well, I think I was 0 for 6 on Doc's first side, but I more than made up for it on the second side. Let me tell you, and you'll see that coming up.
A lot of people are over 6 on Doc's side, Rich. Don't worry.
But I like that hodgepodgey side B there where you can get in some stuff that I'm into. Side A, song 1. I'm going right out of the chute with In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. I'm setting
Nice.
the tone. The Mike Tyson, wait for it. From The Hangover. I love that scene. Always loved that song from the Face Value album, which was his debut solo album. And that dramatic drum, man, it comes in at the right time, and everybody knows it. Classic.
Kind of got a bump from Miami Vice, I would think. In the
he's in
80s
there
too,
too,
later on. Yeah.
I know it's commercial and everybody knows it, but I don't give a crap either. I think it's one of the best songs of the '81, so it's on the list and it's leading off the album. It was the lead off song on Phil's debut album, so he thought highly of it too.
Right.
Number 2 song, got to go with "Stop Dragging My Heart Around" by Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks. It's actually on Stevie's Belladonna album, which was her first album, written by Tom Petty and his guitarist Mike Campbell. Superstars, both of them at the time, and decided to combine on this song. It's a really great song, a pop song, well, pop rock. Mm-hmm. So I had to have that. And I'm going to follow it up with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers off of his Hard Promises album, The Waiting. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. I love the song. Petty staple, one of his signature songs. Number 4, like Doc, I'm taking Under Pressure also from Queen and Bowie. Made my list.
Right on.
It was released as a single in October of '81. Shows up later on Queen's Hot Space album in May of '82. And you can't go wrong with those two voices, like Doc said, Bowie and Freddie. Must have for me. Number 5, one with the Police. Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, from the Ghost in the Machine album.
Yeah.
It's got that mixture of pop and new wave, that fusion kind of song. It was all over MTV with them dancing around, and the 3 members of the Police, Sting on lead vocal. Great song for that year. And I'm going to end side 1 with Journey, Who's Crying Now? One of my favorite vocals here by Steve Perry. A great guitar solo as well. Sort of a soft rock pop power ballad from Journey's Escape album. And a tough call for me to pick a song from that album because Don't Stop Believing was on that album too. But I went with Who's Crying Now. Yeah,
the bass sounds great on that song.
Great bass.
On Who's Crying Now. Man, I mean, they mix that keyboard in with that bass, and it's just, that's a great song.
That's I think I had 3 or 4 of yours written down on my honorables.
Yeah.
The Waiting, Stop Dragging My Heart. There's.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've got something else from Belladonna on my list. I mean, but the other one, Tom Petty, Stop Dragging My Heart Around with Her as well, was written down as as an honorable mention as well. And it's a great album all the way through. So it's that's a good choice.
All right, side B, a little bit different, but some favorites again. I'm going to kick it off with the Pretenders, one of my favorite bands of that era. Message of Love, Chrissie Hynde, of course, kicking it out from their second album. This is a sort of new wave with a real hard rock foundation to it. And it starts out with Message of Love. Great song. Second song.
The great tune.
A classic rock staple here from Foreigner. Jukebox Hero.
Ooh.
Graham. Awesome lead vocal here. Got a perfect rock voice. Of course, Foreigner, very successful late 70s, early 80s. They were cranking out albums, hits. One of the better, classic rock bands of that era, in my opinion. Not too hard, not soft certainly, but right in that sweet spot.
Just a rock band.
Just a rock band.
Just a rock band. And they had their moment of 5-6 years in a row where they were just right on top, touring and everything else.
Yeah.
My third tune, right out of Doc's page, Squeeze, Tempted.
Right on.
Great soulful song here by Paul Carrack. Actually, it's the lead vocalist who he went from group to group. He was with Mike and the Mechanics. He was with Ace. Here he's with Squeeze, sort of a guy that jack of all trades, could sing with the best of them, had that rocky sort of soulful voice. And I think it's one of the best songs of that year. So I had to be on my list. Going to follow it up with another one, 38 Special, Hold On Loosely. No doubt. Southern rock, power pop. I like the lyrics, hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control.
Lose control.
You're going to lose control. And they go into that jam with the double guitar action and great stuff. I like Southern rock in this era too. I mean, I like Skinner and the Almonds, and this is more of a poppy side of it, but I like it anyway. 38 Special. My fifth tune, this is more laid back singer-songwriter stuff for me. Dan Fogelberg, the leader of the band. Dan Fogelberg wrote this album, The Innocent Age. This is a tribute to his father, who was still alive at the time, thanking him for laying the groundwork for his career and this and that. It's a really heartfelt song, so it had to be on my album. And my last track, Rolling Stones from THRU, Waiting on a Friend.
Got
that nice
from THRU, right?
From THRU. Got a great sax solo in there by the jazz musician Sonny Rollins. So it's an odd combination, Rolling Stones with the send off with the jazz at the end. And it was the closer off of THRU, closer on my 81 album. So there we go.
That Foreigner album was just, I can remember it being so huge. Foreigner 4 was just huge.
It
it
was massive.
had so many tracks. It had so many great tracks on it, and 38 Special. And now they bring back so many memories. It's like I can remember listening to the radio, and every 2 hours the rotation is so heavy you'd hear these songs again. That's how we consumed our music. And every Sunday you're listening to Casey Kasem's Top 40 Countdown, and you're itching for these songs to be played, and wondering whether they climb up or go down and all that other stuff. I just missed it. I missed listening to this music again. It's great to
that's why it's great to revisit it, buddy. You're bang on there, man. Jukebox Hero is a great tune too, right?
Man, that's such a huge tune.
That's a great rocket tune from them, man.
It is.
That's a good pick. And great album. I mean, obviously we had 3 or 4 the same there, buddy. So
we had four all on
there you go.
Side.
Nice. I like it.
Brian, how are you going to top that, buddy?
Here we go.
I don't know if I can really. I mean, I kind of like. I stuck with who I was though. I mean, the first side is the first probably 8 songs is who I was when I was 12 years old. Maybe I kind of branch off a little bit toward the end of this here, and definitely the last song that I picked for my album will be something that there's no way in the world that 12-year-old Brian was listening to it. So what I started off with mine is I started off with Tom Sawyer from Moving Pictures. I just thought that it's the staple Rush tune. I love playing that song for people who haven't heard it. I mean, my son had never heard it before when I played it for him. And I'm like, just listen to the 4 different drum solos that occur in that in the bridge of that song. I mean, just completely different. And so if anybody ever has an argument about whether Neil is the best drummer of all time, you know, not alive, obviously now, but
Right.
still, I would just play that song, and just that portion of the song would be enough to really say, yeah, he's the best of all time. You know, then you can throw Bonham and Moon and then and throw the rest of them in there. But I have to support Rush in this regard. Number 2 for me, another one of your boys here, Doc. I picked Red Rider's Lunatic Fringe.
No way. Right on, buddy.
Yeah, from the Vision Quest soundtrack. I mean, it is it's a banging tune.
Great tune.
I love that tune. Talk about getting, you know, I like playing that song like as a coach. I play that song while my kids are warming up, and it's one of those songs you get kind of pumped up.
Oh,
to,
you can get pumped to that one.
Go out there and just wrestle people, you know, and take them down. So
the beginning of that tune is just awesome, man.
It is, and I figured you'd appreciate a little bit of
Totally.
Red Rider, a little bit of Tom Cochran.
That's a great
there,
tune, man.
bit, so yeah. Number 3, I got In the Air Tonight from Face Value.
Hey,
from,
right on.
From Phil. You know, I didn't know whether I was going to put both Genesis and Phil on here. Ultimately, I just ended up going with Phil. But both albums are incredible.
Yeah.
This Face Value is a really underrated album, I think, of his. I know a lot of people put a lot more stock on No Jacket Required. I think Face Value is a better album. That's just me, though. But I mean, I'm sure other people might feel a little bit differently. Number 4 for me, I went to the Jay Giles band from the self-titled Freeze Frame. I think it's really cool.
It's a great tune, man.
It was right on the cusp of new wave. You know, so got a lot of high keyboard stuff going on in there. But the lyrics are really cool in that they're kind of like they're drawing metaphors and similes, you know, with photography, you know, in their lyrics and talking about this girl and everything. And I think it's just an interesting song. Very cool, very catchy tune. Number 5 for me, I've got Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I Love Rock and Roll.
Yep.
You know, it's only about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but man, I can still remember that video, man, and seeing Joan Jett walk into that bar. And man, how
about those leathers?
Every boy, 12-year-old boy should have had a crush on Joan Jett. You should have had a crush on Joan Jett. Shame on you if you didn't.
Leather and chains. A lot of chains.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the song, and you play over and over back then, you know, as a kid. So ending side 1 for me, I've got from Belladonna, I've got Leather and Lace from Stevie Nicks and Don Henley. I like the back and forth of their vocals. I thought they harmonized really well together. Yeah, I was surprised that they did, actually. I mean, I know they're 2 vastly different voices, but for some reason their voices seem to work pretty well. So that's how I ended my side 1.
Awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Leather and Lace and I Love Rock and Roll are both honorable mentions. They were close to making it for me. Both of them.
Leather and Lace was cut this afternoon.
Really?
It's a great song.
How dare you, Doc?
I mean, I love that tune. I think I love that song, man. It's a great, you know, your Joan Jett, you got Crimson on there. You could have had I Love Rock and Roll. You could have had the Lunatic Fringe. I love. Great call. Obviously, In the Air gives us our trifecta. So we've hit on one.
Right.
And what was the other one you had? The other one you had on your list?
Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's it.
Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, you had Centerfold too. Also,
I had Freeze Frame.
Centerfold.
Yeah. Centerfold's okay too. I mean, Freeze Frame I like a little bit better.
Freeze Frame. Sorry. You had Freeze Frame. Sorry.
Yeah.
And also another on my short list as well. So
there you go.
Yeah, buddy. That's great album.
Thanks. All right. Side 2. We're going to stay right there for a little bit, and then we'll kind of venture off. I've got Urgent by Foreigner leading off side 2. I think it's their best song. I know Jukebox Hero is a great song too. I'm not going to take anything away from it, but you stay up, you don't come down. I mean, it's just great lyrics in this stuff, and that nice little guitar riff that's constant throughout. It's got this nice little echo effect to it. I like how they put the song together. So I chose that one. I chose here is where like alternative rock kind of bled into pop rock, and so it was on both charts. The Go-Go's We Got the Beat was actually on both charts, the alternative rock chart and regular rock chart. I think the Go-Go's were a very influential band in the 80s.
Yeah.
Very important for, I think, for women groups that would be coming out later on as well. I mean, you get a couple girls that end up being offshoots here, Belinda Carlisle goes on for a solo career, I believe, on her own. So, but yeah, they're great musicians actually. And some of the stuff that they put out later kind of underappreciated, the stuff that was on Vacation and stuff like that. I think this kind of got overlooked. Everybody kind of wrote them off as a novelty thing, I believe, because of the nature of the band that they were. So number 3, I've got the Great Ken Band. I've got the Breakup Song.
There you go.
Now, it is such a cool song. I thought at first you think that the name of the song is They Don't Write Them Like That Anymore, because they don't mention the breakup, actually in the lyrics anywhere. But anybody who can use the lyrics, I mean, you can use that as one of your lyrics and get by with it, man. Big props to you. So Great Ken is cool. His albums all had like some weird derivative of his last name, Conspiracy and and all sorts of things like that he did when he was putting together albums. But the Breakup Song, pretty cool song, just basically talking about someone who got dumped by his girlfriend about 1 hour before the school dance started. Number 4, I've got Hall & Oates from Private Eyes. I like the song. I know some people don't. I really kind of like the smoothness of it. I've got I Can't Go For That. No Can Do. It's kind of a little smooth. The bass line I think is really cool on that. And I know somebody said it may have been that song that Michael Jackson kind of like ripped off a little bit of the bass line of that song on some other stuff that he did for Thriller. So that's how influential it was. I mean, 1 year later, Michael Jackson's kind of ripping you off a little bit. But Hall & Oates, they go on to make some, big in the 80s with H2O and Method of Modern Love, another album of theirs that ends up being huge later on. And they're great musicians for blues in their own right. If you ever seen any of their stuff live at the Apollo, it's fantastic. So number 5, I've got definitely a new wave band, Human League. I've got Don't You Want Me.
Yep.
Dare is like considered one of those big albums you have to have if you want to collect new wave stuff. Big high def synthesizers and just pounding it into you. They've got the crazy hair and the the little bit of European style singing towards each other, not at each other or with each other type of thing. It's kind of interesting, but I like the song. I like the whole album actually. And lastly, this is one that was added like maybe in the last month. I would definitely have this song on there. It's called it's In the Bush with Ghosts. It's by Brian Eno and David Byrne. Came out in 1981. Brian Eno was with Roxy Music in the early 70s, and of course David Byrne, he's Talking Heads, but they collaborated on this album that's mostly ambient style music and electronica, but some of the stuff on there is so you can't believe it's 1981, because it's stuff that's like you thought you would hear like in the late 90s and early 2000s when electronica really got big. And so I hear, when I listen to it, I listen to them and I go, I hear Massive Attack and I hear trip hop bands like Air, and I hear Boards of Canada and bands that were out then, but they were doing it on that album. So I think that album is so influential. You should check it out. The song that I picked is called Regiment. Very interesting. They mix a lot of ambient music with some dance beats, world beats, and they mix it with some African and Middle Eastern chanting that I thought just really worked well together. So I had to put a little bit of something that was me of recent and on the album. So I went with something by Eno and Byrne. So
I don't know if I've heard that tune or not, that last one or not, because I did listen to Brian Eno recently and stuff like that myself even.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But the other ones that you're rang off there, that Hall & Oates tune and your list really quick. Good job there, Brian.
Don't You Want Me, Breakup Song.
Yeah. All catchy hooks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, great catchy hook, man. That's and you're right. It's diverse, right?
Right.
Human League and Hall & Oates.
Most songs
I heard something about that Hall & Oates
under 4 minutes, right? Wasn't it? Back then, it's like if it's under 4 minutes, that's how you get to stay on the radio. Because if you had something more than that, they were just going to cut it anyway, right? They were going to make a radio edit, and it was just going to get cut down. So
yeah. Like I said before, we had a double album in '81. Mostly that whole second half would have been on my album because they're on my honorable mentions here. Every one of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, do you want to do honorable mentions? Do you want me to do honorable mentions? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, why don't we just start like how we went there? Rich, you usually have the most, so let me go second and you go last because I know you're going to rattle them off, buddy.
Okay.
So you want me to go?
Yeah, go, Doc.
Yeah, I don't think Rich has more than I got.
Oh, go for it. Run them
all. All right. I had the Stones tattoo you, Start Me Up. I had, Waiting for a Friend. I had the whole Moving Pictures album because I love that album, but that's me.
Okay.
So I had, Another Trippy Day by the Who. It's a great tune, and it's I really wanted that on my album, If You Want the Truth. That's one of my late cuts. I had, the Police, I had Pearl Necklace, I had Tube Snake Boogie, I had Freeze Frame, Centerfold, Flying High Again by Ozzy.
Right.
I had the Hollywood by Thin Lizzy.
Mm-hmm.
The men at your guys' men at work there had an album out there too, and they had some pretty catchy tunes, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised I didn't hear something from you.
Well, they released it in Australia in late November. I think only Down by the Sea was the only single that was released at the time, and then everything else came out in 82 in America.
Oh, okay.
But that's the only reason I held off. I was like, I wanted to, but they only had one single that was released before 1982.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I did have Crimson and Clover. I love rock and roll. Lunatic Fringe was on there for me as well.
Oh, good.
Burning for You, and also Bringing on the Heartbreak by Def Leppard. Actually,
nice one.
I had too much time on some of the stuff you had. I had too much time on my hands. Super Freak, Hold On Loosely. I had Centerfold. I had Abacab. I had Tempted. Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Jukebox Hero. It was oodles of stuff, guys. Oodles of stuff.
They all sound the same. I have Start Me Up by the Stones, Leather and Lace, Stevie and Don, Our Lips Are Sealed by the Go-Go's, The Breakup Song, Man on the Corner off the Genesis album, Don't Stop Believin' Journey, You Better You Bet, The Who, I Love Rock and Roll, Urgent, The Voice by the Moody Blues. I like that song.
Oh, my.
She's a Woman in Love by Tom Petty, Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes.
Oh, good song.
I put it on there. Young Turks by Rod Stewart, Burning for You, Blue Oyster Cult, Tube Snake Boogie, Doc mentioned that by ZZ. And of course, Same Old Lang Syne, another Dan Fogelberg song, which I like a lot.
Yeah. So, I would mention there, maybe the greatest love song of all time was written if you didn't know what to say to who you were actually, wooing. You would play I Love You by the Climax Blues Band.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
Yeah, that's a great tune, man.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what to say, put that on.
Yeah.
There's the next 50 years of your life because you're getting hooked.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, 81 surprised me. It's great. I really like doing it. And 82 is one of my favorite years, like maybe top 10 years in music. So it'll be really good when we get to 82. So, but anyway, everyone, I wanted to thank everyone for watching our video for 81. Be sure to switch over to Rich's channel whenever after you watch this, and go watch our top 10 movies for 1981. We're going to be releasing them around the same time, hopefully the same day. Rich, thanks for joining us for our music portion of it. Doc, thank you for joining us.
Always a blast.
And be sure to spin those Spotify lists, guys. I've seen a couple people start to follow some of them, so that's kind of cool. And I hope that we can be successful as we move forward in 1980s and all the way through. I think where our goal is to go to at least 1999. So we got a few more weeks to go, guys. So thanks everyone out there, and see you real soon. Thanks.
Take care.
Peace.